Namaste, yogis. My name is Alana Kaivalya. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm the author of Myths of the Asanas and the founder of the Kaivalya Yoga Method. Today we'll take a look at Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Go means cow, mukha means face. You might recognize the word from Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. When we do this pose in honor of the cow face, we're actually honoring Krishna. Krishna's name means all attractive one. And anytime we do things in reference to one of these aspects of yogic mythology, we're illuminating that aspect within ourselves. So in regards to Krishna, it is the piece of us that people really are attracted to, whatever they like to hang out with, whatever they like to be around. So maybe it's your award-winning smile, maybe it's your quick wit, maybe it's your awesome ability to give advice. But whatever people are attracted to, that's the element of Krishna that poses like this, or words like that, or even chants along those lines help to bring about. In his younger years, Krishna was employed as a cowherd, and he had a couple of nicknames, Govinda and Gopala. And those names mean cowherd and cow protector, respectively. So it's like the ability to herd and protect the mind, because go is also a word that means mind. So as Krishna was bringing in the cows and keeping them safe and keeping them all together, thinking about higher, more elevated aspects of our life and spiritual pursuits help to keep the mind also together and protected. Gomukhasana is a seated hip opening posture, and as we take the shape, our legs become the cow's mouth, and as we take the arm variation, grasping our fingers behind our back, our elbows become the cow's ears. So in this case, my left elbow would be the cow's upturned ear, and my right elbow would be the cow's floppy ear. We can do this posture along with a couple of other hip openers to create a nice little sequence for ourselves. Why don't we do that by starting with downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come onto your hands and knees with the shoulders arranged directly over the wrists and the knees directly underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, extend the legs and lift the hips up and back into an inverted V shape. Bring the left knee between the hands for pigeon pose. Slide the right foot back a little bit and check to make sure that the right toes extend directly out and back from the right hip. Keep the torso lifted. A nice additional stretch in this posture comes if we look over the left shoulder, back at the right toes. You should feel a nice stretch on the whole right side of the body as you do this. After we enjoy a few breaths here in this hip opening shape, you can roll onto your left hip and bring your right leg all the way around into Gomukhasana. Depending on your flexibility, your feet may be closer to your hips, or they may be farther out, so that the shins are almost parallel to the front of the mat. You can keep a hold of the feet or the ankles. You can also take the arm variation. In this case, my right knee's on top. So I'm going to reach my left arm up, drop the hand back between the shoulder blades, and bring the right hand back behind me to grab my fingertips, or you could also grab a strap. You may stay seated upright, or if you'd like to move deeper into the hip opener, you can fold forward over your legs, and even eventually drop your chin over the front of your right knee. After a few breaths in that shape, we can come up and take advantage of the fact that we're almost already in ankles to knees pose by bringing the feet a little closer together so that the knee is on top of the ankle on top of the knee. As you arrange yourself in this shape, make sure that your foot doesn't sickle upward in this way. Keep the ankle on top of the knee, and if we flex the feet, that will protect the joints of the knees. If this shape looks more like this for you, you can extend the left leg forward, or you could also place some padding in the form of a couple of pillows or some rolled blankets underneath the knees for support. Once you've found your shape for ankles to knees, you may sit up nice and tall and allow the stretch to take place just where you are. You can also fold forward, reaching the hands forward if that feels comfortable and natural to you. Enjoy a few breaths here, opening the hips. The hips tend to store a lot of emotions, so if they're tight, maybe take a few extra breaths and breathe into the stretch. All right, let's do the other side. So come once again into your downward facing dog. Your inverted V shape with the hips high up in the air, heels reaching to the floor. Bring the right knee between the hands for pigeon pose and extend the left leg out behind you this time. Make sure all 5 toenails of the left foot are on the floor and make sure the leg is extending directly out from the left hip. Enjoy the stretch by looking out over the right shoulder, back at the left foot. You should feel a stretch all along the left side of your body. After a few breaths here in pigeon pose, you can come into cow face by bringing the left leg all the way up and around so that the knees stack one on top of the other. Remember, once again, the feet will either be closer to the hips or further out depending on your flexibility. You can continue to grab the feet or the ankles or enjoy the shoulder stretch by this time reaching the right arm up, dropping it back between the shoulder blades. Left arm comes back up behind you. If it's challenging to grab the fingertips, go ahead and grab onto a strap or a towel. Either will work. In time, the shoulders will open. This is an awesome stretch for the upper back, especially for those of us that sit a lot at computers and do lots of typing. Lift the heart and remain here to enjoy the stretch, or again, lean forward, eventually hooking the chin forward over the front of the knee. After a few breaths, come up, release the hands, and slide the feet toward one another so that the ankles and knees are stacked. Once again, if the knees come up off the floor quite a bit, extend the right leg forward or place padding underneath the knees for support. Enjoy the stretch simply by sitting up nice and tall or fold forward. One of Krishna's best attributes as he was a younger cowherd was the fact that he was able to be all things to all people. We have a lot of similar attributes as well. Some of us are mothers, daughters, sons, brothers, employers, employees, yogis, or yoga teachers. And we inhabit all of these different aspects of ourself with the different people that we relate to in our lives. And each of them gets a little something out of it. By us being each of these pieces that we are, we allow them to be a little more comfortable in their own skin. That's the gift of Krishna, the all-attractive one. So keep that in mind as you enjoy these hip stretches, particularly Gomukhasana. Namaste.